Hello, AP.net. This is my submission for the Blink-182 contest. Basically, the first time I heard about Blink-182 was from one of my teammates on my hockey team that I played on. And at the time, I was listening to shit music like Korn, Limp Bizkit, and a lot of other embarrassing stuff I'd rather not mention. But basically, somebody was telling me how much I love Blink-182, and so I saw their video, What's My Age Again? They're all running around naked and having a good time. I'm like, you know what, this is the kind of stuff that, I really like. It's refreshing, it's different than anything I've ever heard. And so I went to the record store, it was called Media Play, and I bought the record, Enema of the State, which was out at the time. And I just listened to the record from front to back, and I just immediately fell in love. It was like this different music that I really wasn't familiar with, and it was just a whole new refreshing thing to hear. And from there I started listening to Dude Ranch, and I bought Take Off Your Pants and Jacket when it came out, and I got the opportunity to see them live at the New York State Fair. It was, I think, sometime in September of 2001. It was just the most incredible experience ever, because I never really went to a lot of concerts before, and this was my first major concert besides Billy Joel when I was 10. And so there was flames going on, just shooting up in the air. There was fire. There was all kinds of lights, and Tom's just there playing his guitar, and just ever since then, it's like I really wanted to play guitar, and it changed my whole life, because after that, I begged my father to buy me a guitar, and I kept begging and begging, and before that, I'd wanted to play drums, but I'm like, no, Dad, trust me, I don't want to play drums, I want to play guitar. And so I started playing guitar. A couple months after that, I got a guitar for my birthday, and I just, yeah, I just was enthralled. I started listening to more punk, pop punk. I had a buddy who was really into that scene, and he just kept giving me more bands, and I heard about Drive Through Records and bands like The Movie Life, and somewhere along the lines, I discovered that these bands were coming to my town, and they have been coming for years. And bands like there were shows, that had Thursday and Finch in the same lineup playing to 50 people. And in hindsight, I regret not going to that, but I didn't know about those bands then. And so I started going to these shows all the time, at local venues around town. And my first show of this kind of music was The Movie Life, and there was stage diving, there was craziness going on. It was basically one of the best times of my life. And as I started getting more and more involved into the music scene, and I started going to all kinds of shows. And somewhere along the lines, I discovered AP.net through a mutual friend. And I felt like everybody in that community was just, that we had these bands in our back pocket, and I feel like, they weren't for anybody else, but they were only for us. And, I just felt like I was a part of something big, and it was this whole new music scene that I've never really been a part of before, and it felt great. And, obviously things change over the years with bands becoming mainstream and all that, but when I think back on it all, if it wasn't for Blink-182, I wouldn't listen to this kind of music. I wouldn't listen to punk, metal, hardcore, whatever it is I listen to nowadays. I wouldn't play guitar. And I think I really owe it to this band for, getting me into this whole subculture and this whole scene, and really, exposing me to different types of music, and really just becoming part of a different community. So I'm thankful for that in many ways.